Yeah. So, man, ZBM, MBM, not bro meatball, man. You know what's going on, man. Indeed. What's going on, man? ZBM, CEO, Carlos Zeta, stupid, I'm a fucking boss. You already know what's going on. Right now, we're still talking about the latest release project, which is Born Famous, Born Poor, the latest EP, last musical release for 2022. And, we have slight live visual showing of the music, you know, slight performance action, and all that kind of sorts, right? Uh, Along with that, right now, what we're going to have before we do that is we're going to discuss a few things. We have a discussion, a small ZBM discussion. Man, ZBM is all broken down for, the future generations to, be better. And, this is our positive seed that we plant into the world. So ZBM is the original name of what's going on with Carlos Zeta, Meatball Money, Stupid on Balls, and everything like that. So the word Zer, the origin, is, a Hebrew word which translates into seed. So, I found that word studying, a book about Christianity years ago, 2014. Fast forward, I turned it into, I used that word that I found when I was reading, and, I just came up with the idea, like, well, that would be fine for my clothing line. So, I decided I wanted to come up with a clothing line, aka a clothing brand. So the brand, it turned into a brand, aka a lifestyle, you know. So we came up with Zero Brand, So with Zero Brand clothing, bring your wallet, man. You know, yeah, all that, man. So uh, started out with the clothing brand, ZBM, man, Zero Brand Clothing, ZBC, and we just went from there. So Zero Brand, was the cornerstone, the foundation of what's going on, today. So now it was Zero Brand Clothing afterwards, and we actually pushed Zero Brand Clothing, you know, something new for us, something new for me, very interesting, uh, a little exploration, I should say. Definitely traveled with Zero Brand Clothing, a few different cities in the tri-state, had a few different ups and downs with it, and things like that. But we tested the water. It was beautiful. We liked it. We like the concept. We like where we can go with Zero Brand Clothing. You know what I'm saying? Just Carlos Zeta, stupid, I'm a fucking boss, the CEO talking. But as well, afterwards of Zero Brand Clothing, uh, we did Zero Escaping, landscaping, and everything like that. So we started that, and we did very well with that, and things like that. But as life happens, so that's something that we went into Zero Escaping, Zero Brand Clothing, and then of course we was always doing poetry and things like that. But like I said, life was happening, so it was just kind of hard for me to really figure out how to legitimize the poetry and really find the time to. But I've been writing, what I'm saying, for a long time. So now it's Zero Brand Publishing, what I'm saying, ZBM and whatnot. So along with the music, so now it's Zero Brand Records, man, ZBM Records, man. So Zero Brand Monopoly, man. We just doing everything, you know. Everything's in house, man, and all of that. So God bless Zero Brand, God has blessed Zero Brand thus far, man. So we thankful for all of that, what I'm saying, and everything like that. So that's just a little guess of what's going on with ZBM, Zero Brand Monopoly, and things like that. Now the discussion, is something we want to give as just more background into ZBM, and what we kind of carrying and standing on, Carlos Zeta, stupid motherfucking boss, meatball money, and whatnot, what I'm saying, bring your wallet and all that. So, we standing on, man, and the perspective of ZBM, I think is very relatable, what I'm saying, very positive, something that everybody can kind of, maybe even learn from, or take a gander into. You know what I'm saying? Maybe take this and take that, and and just grow. You know what I'm saying? This is our seed that we plant into the world. So it's just all positive, man. We don't like to really carry any negativity. So this is why I'm giving the small discussion today, right now. So here it is. Our first point of today in this discussion is ZBM discussion of 2023 at the very beginning, before Born Famous Born 2 come out, and also Money and Glory is coming, in 2023. So we already got things coming up 2023, man. So stay tuned. We just dropped 5 books, man, poetry books and shit like that on Amazon, CMJ Poetry, man, and all that. That's the author, man. Charles May Jr., that's the author. You want to type that in on Amazon or whatever, man. But we just dropped 5 new books, man. The Layman Immigrant on Instagram, the link is all there for like the books and everything like that. Meanwhile, the topics of today, the pointers that we want to point out, to kind of give a little bit more background to ZBM Monopoly, ZBM Monopoly, is for one, for all of those, who are Muslims, you know what I'm saying, and follow the ways of Islam, the belief system of Islam, you know what I'm saying, and even if you don't, if you're Christian or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you believe in God, you know what I'm saying, the first pointer is, we want to ding thoroughly, you know what I'm saying. So we want to stay on the theme thoroughly. So, that's the first pointer, you know what I'm saying. Make sure you kind of like ZBM. We always kind of want to, emulate and project to deem thoroughly. So no matter what it is that you're going through, what it is that's maybe your weakness, or, something that's like a hindrance of you, staying on your dean, which is praying, reading, studying, growing, within your relationship with God, you know what I'm saying, then, that's kind of something that we really focus on, something that we try to implement in a day-to-day structure. So, dean thoroughly, man, Second point of the day is you got to fight for your dean, fight for the dean, through your own shortcomings and trials. So, that's another important pointer. You just got to fight for the dean, man, like through your own shortcomings and trials, no matter what that might be. Everybody might be different, but, et cetera and stuff like that. But, just that's the second pointer, for ZBM, man. That's something we kind of follow, stand on, fight for your relationship with God, no matter what you might be going through yourself, fighting and battling within yourself, is basically what I'm saying. 3, Salat is the most important sacrifice that you can make in your relationship with God, and for those who don't know, Salat is prayer, and prostration. So Salat is, one of the most important, if not the most important sacrifice that you can make, in your relationship with God. So always want to, emulate that, project that, and carry that, you know what I'm saying? So, no matter what, man, we always making time for Salat and everything like that, because that's the most important sacrifice you can make, in your relationship with God, you know what I'm saying? So next important pointer that we want to discuss is, something I had to learn from experience in the hardest ways sometimes, but, just in general, a distorted or intoxicated mind compromises the dean automatically, so that's something to really pay attention to, to each his own. We have no judgment, there's no pressure in Islam. We have no judgment, you know what I'm saying? So to each his own, because, everybody is whatever, they're going to do whatever, so it's like to each his own. But the point of the day is, ZBM really wants to project and let people know the background, and part of the background of ZBM is to, keep in mind that a distorted or intoxicated mind automatically compromises, your deen, which is your relationship with God, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So automatically it just kind of avoids it, you know what I'm saying? Because you kind of already, you know, you're not in the right state of mind to even praise God or anything. So something to pay attention to and kind of, you know, even if you implement it slightly, whatever, that's a beautiful thing. So something we want to keep implementing into ZBM, you know, Zero brand, man, planting our beautiful positive seed into the world and all that. Meanwhile, the next pointer is it's a few. So the next one is finding tranquility in Salat. So basically, you know, you just want to, when you offer Salat or when you're praying, however you might pray, is fine, you know what I'm saying? But specifically, we talking from a certain standpoint. So this standpoint, we talking about Salat, which is prostration and prayer. So since that's the standpoint we're talking about, that's specifically, but generally, any type of prayer that you may, you know, offer to God, you know what I'm saying, is beautiful, and you want to implement, and find your tranquility within, you know, your prayer. You know what I'm saying? You want to be peaceful within your prayer, you know, and things like that, of that nature. The next pointer is maintaining prayers daily, you know what I'm saying? Maintaining salats daily. You know, we that are upon his lamb, you know, is 5 prayers a day, obligatory, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. So that's the goal, 5, you know what I'm saying, 5 times, and then that's the not the goal, that's the mandatory you know, prayer amount that you should be doing every day. But, you know, you can also offer more or whatever. If you have shortcomings and you can't or you don't, you know, Allah knows best, man. So you just repent whenever you can and all of that. So maintain Salat daily, man. That's something that ZBM try to project and try to really take part in every day. You know, the next pointer is that all of these practices that I'm speaking of, all of these pointers, you know, it will help you increase as a person, you know, and as an honorable believer, you know, in God, you know, the higher power, I should say. Excuse me. Yeah, and, you know, and the last pointer on this page is guard your salat. So, you know, just be careful with your salat, man. You know, your prayers are very, very, you know, important, man. That's your relationship with God. So, you know, you always want to guard your relationship with God, you know what I'm saying, no matter what. So that's something that we want to implement into ZBM, the structure. And, you know, we just giving you some background into ZBM, you know what I'm saying, ZBM Monopoly and whatnot. So we have a few more things that we want to discuss on this page. It's more so not so much about, you know, the things I just discussed. It's a little bit more, you know, different, but still important, still good stuff. It's ZBM Monopoly, man. There's some background information into the ZBM Monopoly, you know, empire, the ZBM Monopoly business, the ZBM Monopoly movement, the ZBM Monopoly lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, the ZBM Monopoly energy, man, all of that. So, you know, this is all kind of like, you know, some good information, you know, for those who have been watching the ZBM movement or whatever you might want to call it, you know what I'm saying. I could call it 10 different things, you know what I'm saying, ZBM Monopoly this and that and this and that, and just keep going. I'm okay with all of it, man. So anyway, we want to talk about the zero rule. When I say zero, it's spelled Z-E-R-A, the zero rule, you know what I'm saying. The number 1 zero rule is no bending. You know what I'm saying? No bending, man. I've been saying that since like 2015 or something. So the number 1 zero rule is like no bending. You're going to go see on the ZBM Facebook page in like 15, 16, no bending, man. So it's like no giving up and no hating. That's the zero rule. Bring your wallet, you know what I'm saying? No cap though. So that's the number 1 zero rule, you know what I'm saying? No bending, no hating, and no giving up, man. That's an automatic zero rule. You fail that rule, you failing, you know what I'm saying? You failing the test. So that's the number 1 zero rule. The next zero rule is suicide is never an option. You know what I'm saying? Suicide is never an option, man. You speaking to Carlos Zeta, stupid, I'm a fucking boss. and all of that, man. So, you've been following the ZBM platform, man, over the last 8 years or so, man, then uh, all kinds of things, man, trauma, et cetera, man, that tribulations and trials that, one has went through, man. And it's like, and none of that has ever put me in a position to even think or even feel like suicide is an option. So that's kind of a zero rule, you know what I'm saying? We carry that, we stand on that, man. Like, that's never an option. We always, in the worst scenarios, you know what I'm saying, we feel good. And even if we don't feel good, we just gonna keep going, you know what I'm saying? So zero rule number 2, man. Suicide is never an option. You know what I'm saying? It's a bomb. It's never an option, man. I'm just leave it there. Third zero rule is one must be strong-willed, and that kind of go hand in hand with the second zero rule. Third zero rule is one must be strong-willed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do anything, man. You must push. You know what I'm saying? You must push, man. Do anything, man. Do any and all things, you must push. That's a zero rule number 3. You know what I'm saying? And all that, man. So number 4, one must understand what it means to stand what you do. That's a fourth zero rule. That's the fourth zero rule. One must understand what it means to stand what you do. Zero rule number 4. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stand what you do, man. At all times, even in the hardest scenarios and everything, man. Like, we don't really compromise. Your word is what your word is. Your bond is your bond. So one must stand what one must stand what one does or whatever. So that's like 4 or whatever. Now we're gonna switch gears into CMJ paralegal services. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep this brief. We ain't gonna go too deeply into the CMJ paralegal services. You know what I'm saying, today, but we will elaborate later, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But today, we're just going to have a few pointers on the paralegal service, you know what I'm saying, a few pointers for the youth, a few pointers for the elders, a few pointers for the incarcerated, 3 pointers for the targeted, 3 pointers for the challenged in society, you know what I'm saying, a few pointers for the poor in society, man, people in those, those places, man, where it's hard, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say it like that because I forgot a word I was trying to say. Anyway, first pointer, CMJ, paralegal services. For all youth who have found themselves victim of their society or reality, one must understand time is more important than money in any case. If you catch a case, always request discovery if you are innocent. Even if you aren't innocent, you still always request discovery and evidence, right? That's the pointer, you know what I'm saying, for the day. You know what I'm saying? If you find yourself in any kind of situation or case, before you even open your mouth or before you even make any decision, you want to see what's being said about you so you can examine it and your attorney can examine it, and then you can kind of go from there and figure out, where your life is headed, right? The second pointer, CMJ paralegal services, or whatnot, even though this might not be kind of connected to the legal aspect, but always make proper due of your time on the streets or incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? That's a pointer from CMJ to paralegal, you know what I'm saying? Always make proper time of your time on the streets or if you're incarcerated. Excuse my little tongue twister moment. Anyway, the next important thing I want to speak about in this discussion is working your way out of the quote-unquote trap. This is the basis of pushing beyond circumstances, right? That's the pointer right there. Always work yourself out of the quote-unquote trap, you know what I'm saying? Which is basically just pushing yourself beyond all circumstances, no matter what. And also, that just goes in line with superior sedity. No matter what the circumstance or the situation is, I'm always superior sedity. I'm always supremely confident, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? That's all, you feel me? Indeed. Yeah, and all that, ZBM. And we got one more. This is very, very important. Always remain silent before or after you are arrested or charged with anything. Always remain silent before or after you are ever charged with anything. It's very important for the youth, for the elders, for the inner city, for the outer city, for the suburbia, whatever, you know, protect yourself and everything like that, man. If you, ever find yourself in a perilous, situation or whatever you might want to call it, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're innocent or guilty, I don't know, but always just exercise that, you know what I'm saying? Lastly, and this is very important for the youth, you know what I'm saying? Juvenile convictions, when you get convicted as a juvenile, your juvenile conviction is a sealed document, right? But what you gotta understand is it's a sealed document, but some things, when you have a sealed document as a juvenile, it still can be considered or, looked upon or opened, within a 10-year span. So if you a juvenile, you get convicted 2023. If you catch any other case or you have any type of business that you might be trying to do where it might have to do a background check or something of that nature, you know what I'm saying? Since the 10-year span of your juvenile delinquent conviction hasn't passed, it could affect you. So, always kind of keep that in mind if you a juvenile, you know what I'm saying? Or if you were a juvenile, if you had a juvenile delinquent case or something like that, a 10-year span automatically is supposed to be sealed, but it still can be used against you. So if you have a juvenile delinquent case, a 10-year span is when it's definitely like it's a no-go. You know what I'm saying? It's a complete shut door. But 10 years has to pass. So that's the last important pointer of the discussion today, man. ZBM, no bending. And I got little memory issues and whatever, so I got to write everything down and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, freedom, man, and everything like that, man. Positivity, man. And always bring your wallet, man. Wallet save lives, man. You're speaking to, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm Big Z, man, and all that shit. So, yeah, born famous, born poor too, man. We coming with that, you know what I'm saying? And all that. So just keep your eyes open, ears open for that, you know what I'm saying? And everything, man. So we gonna sign out. A little ZBM discussion today, man. 2023. Yeah.